threats for existence. Life is a gift of the essence.
You're still listening to the Daybreak Show right here on Rock City 101.9 FM, breaking the silence as it were. And I think it's something everyone is doing, albeit as subtle as can be. We're looking at the controversy over the card reader machines. We're asking the question to use it or not to use it. And if you want to look at it, a card reader is simply an electronic device that can read plastic cards or a data input device that reads data from a card-shaped storage medium. It's as simple as that. This is a new device that has never been used in the history of elections in Nigeria. And according to the Independent National Electoral Commission, it will ensure that the card readers is actually test run in 12 states. They've done that, and 2 states in each zone before the election to ensure a mastery of the device by its staff. Now, there's something, the plan by INEC to use this card reader has been generating debate across the country. And that is the truth. If you look at it, some are saying, yes, we should use it. Others are saying, no, we should not use it. Why can't we just use the TVC? Since we used the TVC in 2011 and it worked. Some are saying, instead of disenfranchising some people, because this card reader may not be able to detect or, get all of their data or even get their, how do I say now, recognize their thumb when they put it on the machine. They're saying, let's use the TVC. But Toby, I tell you, people are kicking against it. Yesterday on television, I think there was a meeting of the Governors Forum of the PDP, and they did say there that they are actually saying no to the use of the card reader machines.
Well, apart from the PDP Governors Forum led by the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, talking about Godswill Akpabio, who vehemently criticized the planned usage of the card reader machines. The party itself, that is the People's Democratic Party, PDP, the Mega Progressive People's Party, People's Party of Nigeria, Alliance for Democracy, Advanced Congress for Democrats, have all said that using that card reader machine for the first time in a general election, that is going to be crucial and said to actually, set the tone for the next 4 years of Nigeria, is something that we should not actually give a chance, because it will give room for rigging. But now, let us look at the logic of it. If a card reader machine actually is something that we should actually first discover what it is about. What exactly are the functions of the card reader machines? Is it to actually ensure rigging, as some have alleged, or it is to check rigging, as the protagonists are also saying? So if you get to look at it critically, then you can now say, okay, who is actually saying that, okay, we should have a free, fair, and fair election, going by the card reader machine debate, and those who are actually not in favor of a free, fair, and credible election, going by that debate. But they've tested it, if it just like you said. Mixed reactions have also trailed that particular mock election. In some states, it recorded about 85% success. But the issue, which of course takes it to about 45-50% success, is that of the fingerprinting. And of course, if you look at the fingerprint of so many people, especially in the rural areas or in the northern part of the country where subsistence farming still holds sway, many of the fingerprints are so thick, and the thumbs, actually cannot get easily captured by the card reader machine.
Some complain that if you have oil or any sticky thing on your thumb, it will be difficult for the machine to actually read your print. So that's a big issue. If you look at it,
it's a big issue.
Some think the idea of using the card reader is something that should be flawless. It shouldn't have any issues. When I get there and just put my fingers there, it should be able to read it. But as you know, it's something new. Things are bound to go wrong. No one has even looked at the idea of the epileptic power supply that bedevils Nigeria. What is going to happen when the batteries run down?
Well, the INEC has actually laid the affairs of so many people who have complained, especially that of the fingerprints. What you're saying is that is just one of the criteria to actually ascertain whether you are the true holder of that PVC you bring into the polling unit. The first is that PVC will be inserted into the card reader. Then, of course, your data will actually show on the card reader machine. They will verify with the voters register, and of course, they now are certain with your fingerprint. So, peradventure, your fingerprint does not show or is not actually accepted by the card reader machine. What they need to do is just to accommodate you, not disenfranchise you, that's what INEC has said, but of course, they will just allow you to vote. But we are not the experts. They have a technical expert in the studio, an engineer actually, who can actually tell us the workings and of course the possible failure of this kind of machine when it comes to election period and of course other matters. Banks use something like this and of course they'll be recording some kind of success. But we want to look at, just like you said, if the infrastructure, I've actually put it in place. Are the INEC ad hoc staff trained enough to actually handle any kind of mishap if it eventually happens on election day? We have someone who has also been a regular caller on this show, a public affairs analyst, of course a technical expert, engineer to be precise. Gafar Ismaila is right here in the studio. Gafar, you're welcome to the debate.
Thank you very much, Mr. Toby Pafmo and our listeners.
All right, Gafar, you must have heard the debate. Of course, it's still ongoing. Don't use the card reader machines. Use the card reader machines. It will check rigging. No, it will only ensure rigging. We've not used it before. Okay, test it. The test was not successful. Do you really need card reader machines to ensure free, fair, and credible election?
Okay, thank you. You've succeeded in being an engineer today to have defined what is a card reader for us. And I will just try to click us back that the card reader is a data input device, has been said. It accepts data, it reads data from a card-shaped storage medium. And if you look at it, we should be moving ahead and actually looking for a way to do things perfectly. And usage of card reader will definitely take us to the next step and reduce the corruption on the line and the malpractices that we used to witness during the course of our election. And how does the card reader works? If you look at your card reader, card PVC very well, at the back you see what is called barcode, series of dark black and white stripes, and this barcode are security features that actually stores your information. Now let's take and be very practical with this issue. You get to a polling booth, the card reader, what does it do? The card reader will authenticate the originality of whoever owns the card. That's number one. By actually checking your pictures, making sure your name is tallies with what we have on the card, and lastly, confirming your biometrics, your fingerprints. And if you look at it objectively, you will see that this is an avenue to checkmate some things. Take for instance, and before I go further, I would like to say that the present card reader that will be used by INEC is not server dependent, neither is it transition dependent. I'll break it down. What do I mean by server dependent? If you have your ATM card, if there is no network in your bank, if there's a transmission problem, I'm at Rock City Studio, I will need to pick something at Lafenwa. There must be something that will take me virtually from Rock City Studio to Lafenwa. Your ATM machine, if there's a break in the transmission link, it will not work because your server at which your information is residing at must synchronize with the main server, and this will be taken care of by transmission medium, be it microwave or fiber optics or VSAT. But card reader machine that we are talking of is not server dependent, neither is it transmission dependent. To go further, this card reader is a pre-configured device. Take for instance, Rock City is a ward, let's say Ward 1 at Rock City. The information of all the intending voters in Ward 1 at Rock City will have been pre-configured on that card reader. That is why when you take another card that is not meant for that Rock City cluster to Rock City, Ward 1, it will not work. It will show you OPC error, other polling card error, meaning that the information of everybody voting at Rock City Ward 1 is pre-configured in that card reader. Also, take for instance, you have identical twins. One is a rogue, sorry to use the word. The other one is patriotic. The first has succeeded in selling his PVC, and the other one is trying to vote. Meanwhile, he told his brother PVC. Getting to the police station, they are identical twins. So by default, the card reader will see the picture because they're identical twins, even if they bear the same name. But by virtue of the fingerprints, which is biometrics, they will definitely have different biometrics configuration. So it will show you that the authentication will be failed. This is an avenue to checkmate all the sharp practices we have been experiencing initially. Also, when you talk of the Nigerian factor in terms of power, INEC has told us that the battery in these card readers is going to last for minimum of at least maximum of 14 hours. The question is this, sincerely, how many hours will our election go for? It can't be more than at most 8 hours. Also, during the course of this discussion, I want our listeners to be very, very sincere. Let us put patriotism in everything we are doing. Even I will implore our political gladiators to put patriotism, because you gave me a job as a staff of INEC. You've given me the resources. You've made provision for me in the budget. This is how much I should spend. I'm not coming to you to tell you that there's budget variation because I want to use a card reader. The onus is on me to take the quality, to take my commission to the next level, more than how I met it. When during 1993 election, one of Professor Onfiwosu was using option A1, then people were saying, how will I vote behind an aspirant? Robert, if somebody has collected money, will he queue behind another aspirant? Would that create ulabalu? But lo and behold, we tested option A4, and up to today, everybody is saying it's one of the best options we can use to do election. Let us give the usage of card reader, usage of PVC an edge, an opportunity. Let us see what is going to happen. The issue of power has been taken care of, and also the issue of biometrics, we are talking of the fingerprints. For those who have been opportune to either work on a smart environment or probably go to the embassy, you will see at times when you want to do your biometrics, they might tell you, wash your hand, clean your hand with a survey paper or what have you, so that the sensor and the card reader can be able to capture your biometrics very well. Nothing is not even during the old era at which we are using, we are tampering. Most often times, for those who do not want their hand to be stained, they have methylated spirit. What is disturbing INEC? Before the commencement of the election or accreditation, there will be a bowl of water with soap. Everybody wash your hand, wipes your hand with a hand towel before you do your verification. The last person on the queue will have done that before it got to his turn. Also, the polling officer at the polling unit can also come with a metal spirit and a survey paper or wet serviette, clean their hands before they do their biometric verification. Another advantage of card reader is going to checkmate some excesses of the polling officers. Why? These card readers are also having a SIM card. Some might be 2, some might be 3 or 1, depending on the design made by INEC, which they might not want to tell everybody. This is where you can say it's transmission dependent. If during the course of that accreditation you are having 100 accredited voters, initially the polling officer can decide to write 150, but now with the introduction of the card reader and the card reader having a transition medium with connectivity with their main server, immediately the accreditation is concluded. Even if in that cluster, in that environment, there is no network, immediately you get to where there is network, it will automatically upload the number of accredited voters into their main server.
Now, Gafar, let me just come in here. You've just talked about the wonderful idea that it will be if we make use of the card reader machines. What do you make of these mega parties or these political parties that have come together to say no to the use of this new idea? They say is a recipe for chaos on election day. And you look at it, some other politicians are also saying no to it. How would you describe this vehemence of wanting to discard the use of the card reader, even as INEC has beat its chest to say we will use it if we're looking at a free and fair election in Nigeria?
Okay, thank you. I will come in by saying, quoting Johnny Walker, he said, the whole world will step aside for a man that knows where it's going to. INEC, as a body, I want to assume they know where they are going to now. And for those political parties that are saying no to this, that's why I said we should put patriotism ahead of anything we are doing. And the desperation should not come in now, because we should not believe this is the last election that will ever happen in Nigeria. You can lose today, and tomorrow you can win. Success is never ending, while failure is never final. So if they put patriotism ahead of what they are doing, and we are not prodigal sons, they should not be saying this card reader machine should not be used. I told you initially that you gave me a job. My responsibility is to take the organization to the next level, to do what is good, what is expected of me, yes. to organize an election that is free and fair, and that is going to be generally acceptable to the masses. That is the mission of INEC. Now, you gave INEC the job. They are now trying to do the job. You are now saying the exercise is too much. Why now? I believe before the introduction of the card reader, INEC must have held a meeting with all the political parties. Take for instance, when the former CBN governor said we are going to be using ATM machine and the maximum withdrawal should across the counter should not be more than 150,000, people were crying. But what do you see now? You find it very easy to transfer your money. E-banking. If he has accepted the cries of the minority then, because of the fear of unknown, because they know that though up to now, sincerely, they are not checkmating the fraud in the financial sector, which can be checkmate through the use of e-banking, because to every transaction you make, it can be traced to you. That is why to every transaction you make, you have SMS alert, you have your email alert, and co. So the implication is to every transaction you are making, they are tracing it to you. Now, this is a way forward, because we want to take, INEC want to take their commission to the next level by conducting free and fair election. And all these challenges INEC is facing, they are challenges that is normal, that will definitely come in, and there are solutions to these challenges. If you are very sincere with the mock exam done by INEC, you will give them at least 90%. And if you are recording 90% in an exam, I think the others have a makeup for others. So I will implore the political gladiators that are saying that card readers should not be used to please have a rethink and believe that patriotism should be the main thing. And for the mere fact that they are not in tandem with the ideology that INEC is bringing, does not mean the ideology is wrong. No. For the mere fact that you are not in support of a certain policies or programs or gadgets does not mean it's not working. Up till now, as we are saying, some people will not use e-banking. Up till now, some people will not use the ATM machine. But they are
I know some people who don't have ATM cards. They say they don't want to make use of it. Let's look at the enthusiasm of the average Nigerian. Never before have we seen a polity that is so charged with people on different sides of the divide openly. You see husband and wives, they've been pitched against one another because this one is on this side of the divide, the other is on that side of the divide. If you look at 1993 and now, what exactly would you say is the difference?
Sincerely, I will give it to the media, because to whom much is being given, much is expected, and we have to praise you for you to do more. There is enough, though it's not up to the expected percentage level, but we are having better civic education now. That's why you see people are very conscious. You see the market women trying to say, I must get my PVC, because they believe their vote is their right, and they have that single vote is very powerful. So the civic education has gone up, and the people are becoming conscious of who is going to be their next leader. And I'm telling you frankly, in the next election, it will be better off. Though I will implore our leaders, our rulers, because to me, I don't see them as leaders, I will implore them to always be very, very careful and play the game by following the rules of the game. They should not, because of desperation, I must win and do what is not good, because we have no other nation except this country. So they should allow patriotism to charge them to be at the forefront of whatever they are doing. The mission is to move the nation forward, not to win election at all cost. We have heard of world president that lost election, contested for more than 4 times. At the end of the day, he became US president. If Republicans are winning today, the Democrats will go back and do their own work. Next time, they know that if what are the policy that made them to fail, they will checkmate and x-ray their policies, so that in the next election, they will give the electorates what they want.
Now that you've talked about policies, would you say that Nigerian politicians, or you look at the political parties, have you seen some kind of issue-based campaigns, as it were, since you talked about policies? People going back to the drawing board to say, okay, we've lost out in this election, let's go back, regroup, and do what is right and see what is going to be in the next dispensation.
Sincerely, if he is no. But to me, nothing is good or bad except by comparison. For now, we have 2 leading political parties. So it's left for you to compare. A party is ruling, or a party has ruled for 8 years, and you know what he did. A party only ruled for 3 years, you are seeing what he's doing. So sincerely, you made the decision by yourself. I'm apolitical. I'm not a politician, and I will not campaign for any political party. But for the electorate, let them base their assessment on what they are seeing. Now, sincerely, their campaign is not issue-based, because I've not seen any political party that is telling me how I'm going to generate more megawatts for electricity. I've not seen a political party telling me the dilapidated infrastructures we are having, how I'm going to take it to the next level. Up to now, the bad policies we are having, no political party has ever come out and say, this is how I will take the health sector to the next level. But if you compare the two, you have to make a choice. And sincerely, we are going to the era at which soonest the campaign will be issue-based, because Nigerian voters will have been so much enlightened. Though I pray and I hope that they will not succeed in the strategy of pepperizing Nigerians, which they are using now, because to me, the few political elites are using poverty as a strategy so that they can achieve their goal. And the only way at which you can have a social emancipation is when you are enlightened, when you have education, not in terms of literacy. So you can make an informed judgment.
Okay, we'll still look at all this issue, but of course I want us to quickly go on a break. Of course, I'll take us to the news at 10. We are supposed to speak with 2 gentlemen. We're trying to get in touch with Kaudedu, the ANEC chairman spokesman, who will actually tell us what exactly it is as the result of that particular mock election that he conducted across the country. And of course, Yinka Odumaki, of course, a chieftain of Afeni Ferry. Of course, one of the stakeholders who are actually talking about how this election should be conducted and how it should go. So let's enjoy this music.
Many tribulations. This season.
period. But it is true. God is with us here in this country, Nigeria. Yes. Ọlọ́run á wà pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. Nǹkan tó dáwọ́lé ó máa ṣoríire ni. Ọ̀bá làbókè kókókó làbókúta irọ́ ni wọ́n ń pa má dàkú sí nǹkan tó máa ṣe ẹ́. Ó tì í. Wà á máa lọ síwájú ni. Mo ti gbóríyìn fáwọn tó yẹ kó gbóríyìn fún Ọlọ́run á máa gbóríyìn fún ẹ. May God in His infinite mercy and wisdom crown you with all the desires that you seek.
Amazingly, I'm sure you know exactly whose voice it is that you're listening to in that song. Tell me, the first time I heard that song and I was told that he was the one talking, I said, wow, so he could actually fit into music. Well, this is still the Daybreak Show right here on Rock City 101.9 FM. I'm talking about none other than Professor Wole Soyinka. Very clear voice there, and it's something
very deep.
Very deep, and he made that song as sweet as can be. We're still looking at the issues surrounding the card reader machines. There are two sides to it. Some are saying, yes, we have to use it if you want us to have something close to a free and fair election. Since we're going to look forward to that, we must use the card reader machines. The others are saying, no, this is new. It's not going to record the kind of thing that we want for an election of this magnitude. And soon we'll be putting it out to you so that we can get to hear from you. We still have a guest here with us in the studio.
Yeah, we have Gafar, Ismaila. He's a telecommunications engineer. And of course, we're looking at this issue critically together. Gafar, before we went on that break, we were trying to look at the different sides of the divide. Aside from politics now, why would you think that a particular party, like the ruling party, will be saying no to a machine that has been seen in so many quarters as that which will actually go a long way to accepting or midwife a credible election?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Toby. You will see sincerely that it's a pity that we're having this from the ruling class, and you will see sincerely that Nigerian politicians are special breed. I repeat, Nigerian politicians are special breed. That is why you see that we don't have decorum in what we are doing. Neither will you see some sense of patriotism in what we are doing. If we are not prodigal inclined, you will not have invested so much in a system or a project, and you'll be coming out now that no to that. And if you look at the way Nigerian politics is being played now, both parties, I repeat, all parties will have gone for opinion poll, and they know where it's going to tilt indirectly. So maybe, I want to assume, maybe the ruling party has seen that with the way these things are going, the PVC will not pay them. Just yesterday, one of your guests here said that all political parties rig election in Nigeria. So maybe their own rigging style is not going to favor the usage of card reader. Might not favor their own rigging style. Nobody knows. I'm not saying they want to rig. Whoever says they are rigging election knows.
But Gafar, let us actually give PDP a benefit of the doubt here. I'm not disagreeing with you, but let us give PDP a benefit of the doubt. They have also said that it is possible for the card reader machine to be used to outrig the PDP. Is that possible?
It's not possible.
Can you pre-program some PVCs?
It's not possible. INEC, though people might be saying they are not independent, but to us, INEC is independent, and it is not the opposition party that employed Jega and is a team. It is not the opposition party and even PDP that brought in those structures to be used by INEC. So that is going to tell you that none of them, I repeat, none of the political parties is having a control or an edge over one another in respect of INEC as a body. So how will you now be coming and be saying that one political party will be favored through the usage of candidate. If free, fair, and credible election is our watchword, I think no political party should say candidate should not be used. And note, if at all you are arguing against the usage of candidate, what are your reasons? What are your rational reasons to have said we should not use PVC, but we should use TVC? The only germane thing they can say now is that the fingerprint is not recognizing the fingerprint, in which we have solution for that. Let them come out with another rational argument why the candidate or PVC should not be used. As I'm talking to you now, though people will say, I'm yet to get my PVC, I'm with the TVC, but I still have hope that by the time they start distribution of this PVC in Ogun State, I hope mine will be there. And if you look at the percentage of those that are with their PVC generally, you will see that it's better off than assuming if the election would have been conducted February. So let them come out with a rational argument and let us see. And technically, there is no way at even this your studio, if you have clocking, as you want to enter your studio, get access to your studio, you having a card to open your studio. I'm telling you frankly, if your CEO is coming, it might not use his own card, because number one, maybe you have different level of authentication. Some readers, some card readers are iris sensors, whereby merely seeing your face, the door will open, you have access. Some are biometrics, and even on your system, let's take for instance our own. Yes, let's take for instance our system in the office, our desktop or our laptop. There are some programs in your system being used by general everybody in the office, whereby you will need to take password from your boss before you have access to that. And there are some in which your boss will need to call your CEO for access, for password. So how will it be possible for anybody to now breach or probably outsmart all those steps? It's not possible. I am not saying there's a 100% system that is perfect. No, there's no way you will not see some defects. But sincerely, if you can have 90%, I think it's a way forward.
So it's not possible for INEC or another party that may actually be trying to use this camera machine to actually upload or actually use the data of their own supporters, upload it on these camera machines, and it will reject.
Let me give you an instance.
Who may likely vote.
During the last just completed exercise, some clone cards were taken to some polling units, and the candidate rejected it. That they are clone cards. This is telling you that it will authenticate the originality of the card.
And it's a bit nonsense of those stocking up PVCs and buying it from eligible voters.
No, I'm telling you, by God's grace, and if you are ready to accept metamorphosis, I don't want to use the word change, so that you will not see me as being political. If you are ready to accept this metamorphosis from, thumb printing to e-voting indirectly, the next election, our candidates will be server-based, whereby as we have, why in some countries they use server-based readers? Yes. Because they have a stable power supply, there is a very strong and reliable interconnectivity vis-a-vis either microwave transmission, VSAT or fiber optics. But here, you get to your bank to use your ATM out of service, issuance inoperative because of network. If you have reliability in a transmission medium, I'm telling you frankly, the next election, which I hope that is where Nigeria will be going to, you will do e-voting, so that you don't need to go and queue. But now let us start moving. And
this is one of the steps.
If you have been following this argument, this discussion from the beginning, you will be able to make an informed and independent decision about whether the usage of candidate is better or using TVC.
All right, the lines have been buzzing ever since, even before we went to the newsroom. We'll give you the opportunity now, but remember...
Hopefully the lines will be good.
Yes, remember, when you get through, you tell us your name, where you're calling from, then you can go ahead to actually join issues with us. Try to keep it short and simple, and always remember also to turn down the volume on your radio set. You can also use the short code 32120. What you do is type RCK, your message, include your name and location, then you can send it to 32120. Good morning. Hello.
Morning. Engineer Gafar.
Good morning, sir.
Welcome to the hospital.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, I've listened to your analysis. I'm convinced that really you have to express your own opinion. That the anxiety of this the so-called post-education vaccine is that the degree of education in this country, the degree of illiteracy in this country, what happened to the rural areas? The rural areas. We are talking about the urban area.
You've not told us your name.
Yeah, you can go and they can. Hello.
You've not told us your name.
Am I on the air?
Yes, you're on air, but your name. We need your name.
Thank you very much. As I was saying.
Your name.
My name is Prince Onoteko from
Prince.
All right,
go ahead.
Thank you very much. You recall the airport options given to us by Erin. Apart from court injunction, which was given overnight, we went ahead, ignored the court injunction, and did a wonderful election, which was best described as the best in Nigeria. Now, we are talking of the CAC. It is not as good at this time. You cannot continue to experiment. What election has been seen and clear, I know it is meant to segment rigging, not intended, but it's in terms. That's what I'm saying. Please, I agree with your opinion, whatever you say is your own opinion, but I will not support the idea of putting Williams card at this juncture of our political issue. So that is my conclusion. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Prince.
With us. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Nikki.
Good morning.
Good morning, my brother, friend, engineer. This guy will be from there. Good morning. You see, I've listened to you, but let me start by saying this. You see, you have produced so wonderfully well this morning. Your submission is quite, brilliant. Who will take the credit for this card reader at all? I mean, if not for our president, nobody else will take that credit. I think what we need to hail for the use of PVC, the smart card reader, being introduced by this man. This is a good transformation in an upward way. If I will likely use that word transformation as being used by EDT. You see, it's an upward way in the sense that it brings about change in the past days like manipulation, just like you said, rigging, cheating, all sorts of all things happen that usually characterize that past election. The only election that we held that was free and fair was that of MC Abiola in 1993. INEC has really and indeed did make a journey to block all the excesses of rigging. And yes, everything in the past that we are experiencing, I think we can avoid it now, if given opportunity now. But people are not saying, somebody was now saying that what will happen to those people in the aspect of the town. I think there's no problem about that. What the INEC needs now is to try to buy as many as possible of those small generators and then take it there. This is not the use of server like you have said, and we are taking note of all that you have said this morning. Because this is to tell us that Nigerians has arrived now to do it right. We cannot go backward any longer. I think this thing has come to stay, and I believe that Nigeria has accepted to we are going to accept nothing than this now for us to be able to move forward. The PPP forum, Governor, that somebody said in the radio signal this was so. I think they are just being, doing some kind of game. I believe that if given opportunity now, we will get it. Very soon we'll be going to conducting this election by electronic means. If voting will come up or arise. But now I see INEC quite eager to serve. INEC has really shown to us that the privilege given to it by Dr. Jonathan was totally utilized to maximize the past experiences of all these regions. And I believe that I'm giving it to Dr. and Professor Jega. You see, President, they are trying to correct past mistakes. Don't let us miss it this time. His dream has materialized. His skill has been put to play now to achieve something for us in this country. If Indians could use it to the fullest, if Ghana can use it to the fullest to have somebody that was that is in power now doing good in Ghana. So what else can we not have this thing for? We need it. So if really the PDP and the presidency or the president meant their word of transformation, it is an upward way for Jega now to transform this country to a better Eldorado. Thank you very much.
Thank you too for sharing with us. 0809-868-7344 and 0909-146-9670. Who's on this line? Hello? Hello, good morning. All right, let's find out who's here. Good morning.
Good morning, Lucy.
Morning.
I am Pastor Martin Day. I am calling from Ogago, Kingdom in Abeokuta here.
You're welcome, sir.
I want to greet my friend, Gafar, Ismaila. Well done, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Let me quickly dismiss the campaigns by some groups and politicians for the turn of the car reader machine for the forthcoming election. Let me tell you, as far as I'm concerned, and what I've seen, the demonstration of the INEC officers so far, this machine will ensure free, fair, and credible elections. I want to say, without any reservation, that anybody anywhere condemning the use of card is an enemy of Nigeria. Let me tell you again, card readers have come to stay for good. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not a politician, I'm a pastor. I will continue to pray for Professor Jega and his team for a wonderful elections on March 28th and April 11th. Thank you so much. God bless you.
God bless you too. Let's find out who's here. Hello. Good morning. Hello, good morning. You're on air. Who's there? Let's find out who's here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah,
This is who?
God bless you by your from Ibarra.
Okay, buddy. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, good morning to Engineer Gafar.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, the issue is that I just want to consider the question. Clearly, my interest is that if one of the essence of the fingerprinting to control the issue of electoral fraud and irregularity, and they would have recorded 41% failure in that aspect. And it is now saying that voters will still be allowed once the data can be identified and confirmed in the database. Even if your fingerprint is not eventually recognized, you still be allowed to vote. It's the essence of the introduction of that voter of that card making machine. It's going to be the trade. Because the essence is to curtail it, like allowing people to vote without that fingerprint being identified due to maybe errors of the machine or something like that. It's the essence of introducing that machine not being the trade. That's my first question. Then secondly, there are some issues of high, medium and low sensitivity settings for some of those machines. I don't know if our engineering institution has said about that, because there are some reports that some of the machines are set at high sensitivity, others are medium, others are low. And as a result of that, some of them will take up to 15-20 minutes to execute the entire process, others will take 5 minutes. So there's a variation there. So I want to ask the engineer whether he doesn't think it's necessary that be rectified. Overall, I think the introduction of the card reader machine is a good and commendable initiative. You understand? But I believe that there are some issues that just need to be fine-tuned before the election itself. Thank you very much.
Thank you too for sharing with us. 32120 is the short code. What you do is type ROCK, leave a space, type in your message, include your name, and of course you send it to 32120. Gafar, if you look at exactly what's going on in the polity now, with all the hue and cry about the card reader machines and other reasons why the election should be shifted, would you say there is sincerity when you look at the average Nigerian who's actually yearning and looking forward to the elections of March 28th and April 11th?
Thank you very much, Chifi. If you look at it objectively, you said it and you've answered your question that you can sense some sincerity. Why do you sense that and why do you say so? Or why are people feeling like that? This is an election that was initially slated for last month, but later rescheduled due to some security issues. But some few weeks now, you've seen a new party coming up, Democratic Party, Democratic Party, telling us that their name is not included and they want INEC to either they've gotten a court judgment, and don't be surprised. And let me tell you that their what's it called? Their convention is slated for 26th and 27th of March. And the election is coming up on 28th. You can see that is the reason why Nigerians are becoming skeptical. That is the fear. That is what is bringing in the fear into Nigerians. But sincerely, you will see that an average Nigerian wants this election to hold, because indirectly it's slowing the pace of everything down in Nigeria, be it economy or what have you. No right-thinking investor will bring in his money. I mean, FDI investment into Nigeria now, foreign direct investment cannot come in until after election. Until after the next government settles down. Either good luck, Ibile Jonathan, or Buhari, or whoever wins the election. That is when we can have any meaningful progress. That is the reason why this election is very important and very germane. That it must hold, because it will determine the future of Nigeria. And responding to the questions,
yes,
just by some of our callers.
Prince Onodeko.
Sir, I really thank you for your commendation, and sincerely, it is normal in life for a human being to resist change. Sir, with due respect, I know as an elderly person, it is very, very not being easy. Like somebody of 60 years, if it's not IT inclined, we tell you, why do I need a Facebook account? Why do I need a Twitter account? You know, it is normal in life for a human being to resist change. But I'll just appeal to you, sir, and those in your class, my fathers and my mothers, and those in the hinterland, that they should embrace this system. You don't need to be a professor before you can use a card reader. You don't need to be a genius before you can use your PVC to vote. So let us give it a trial. Then Kayode, thank you very much. And sincerely, transformation has been used. I believe and I hope the present government and even the opposition will use this opportunity for transformation. For Pastor Shalama Kide, kudos to you. Let's keep on praying. We have faith, but at the same time, let us support our faith with action so that we can move ahead by God's grace. Thank you very much. Mr. Bode Shubayo, you discussed about biometrics, fingerprints. Thank you. You will see that it's an edge, and the problem has identified. Though I am surprised that INEC does not make provision for this. During the course of a mock trial, they ought to have provided a methylated spirit or a wipes just to clean your hand before you turn print. And if the card reader machine is properly configured, the efficiency or sensitivity, everything should be concluded within 3 to 5 seconds. We recorded in some state that within 5 seconds, the authentication and everything have been done, whereby some might take 15 minutes. For those in which are having difficulty in recognizing their fingers, it's a matter of just putting them aside and let the system continue to run, pending the time they come over for that. So I'm sharing your views, and I believe that you still have and you believe in the usage of this PVC. So thank you very much. And if properly configured and it's working effectively, it shouldn't take more than 5 seconds. for it to work. Thank you.
To work.
Back to the calls. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Yes, this is the voice of Babari Alive from Obansoko. You see, we talk about candidates, but nobody is talking about how really INEC is ready to put these candidates into optimal use, going by the records of INEC in Nigeria's election. If not for the reasonable extension of the 2015 election to March, it was glaringly clear that INEC was not ready as regards the issue of the PVC. In fact, a lot of people have not still gotten their PVCs, and yet INEC continue to say that they are ready. You see, with a lot of intending voters that will come out during this election, and INEC grapple with the use of these candidates and ensure that the exercise will not be caused. Hello?
Yes, we're with you.
Hello?
Yes, we're with you. Go on.
It seems there is a lion jumping into my...
No, just go on. We're with you.
Like I was saying, can INEC ensure that the candidates during this exercise is not consumed by the avalanche of problems that may arise as a result of the first-time use of these candidates? You see, there is no doubt about it. The introduction of the candidates in this election is welcome, but it could have been used during the Osun and Ekiti elections for Nigerians to see how the candidates is effective. You cannot really judge by the skeletal testosterone that was made by INEC over the weekend, as those that turned out were not massive, and so one cannot really assess whether the candidates can find the massive turnout of intending voters during the election. So this is my fear about the candidates. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Bob Salih, for the contribution. In the meantime, keep sending your messages to 32120. Type rock in the space, type your message, and include your name. Hello, who do you have there? Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. We can hear you.
We can barely hear you. Hello? Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Primate Shona Shetu is my name.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ijebu in Ogun State.
All right, let's go.
I think I want to appreciate listening to what you've been doing to better our incoming election. And I also want to appreciate the management for finding time to bring an expert to really give us vivid information. Thank you very much. But I have my concern, and I really want to take up the guests and the management. Now, is it not right time now for INEC to collaborate with radio stations, TV stations, on the display of this voters card, how it operates, adverts, jingles? Is it not the right time now to step into that? I want the resource person to really address that. The second issue here is the issue of invalid vote. Is it not high time party members, party organization, INEC itself, and then the media? Is it not the high time we start informing people on how to pump very well? Because from the first legislative house to the seventh legislative house, the number of invalid votes gave some people the privilege to come into office. And if care is not taken again, some people will vote, but because of the pump, they will not vote well. Is it not high time to give them voters education on how to thumb well? Then finally, the issue of this device called card reader. I was privileged to be in Lagos with my organization when it was test run. And we found out that within 1 second to 4 seconds, somebody is captured. But there is a device within that device that tells you that no, this is not your polling unit. You should go somewhere else. And on voting day, there will not be movement of vehicles and persons. Now, if my card reader tells me this is not the place, that you go somewhere else, what happens? Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much. Toby, it would have been wonderful for us to have Kaidedu, but it's been quite difficult getting to reach him. But I'm wondering, if you know exactly where your where the booth is where you're supposed to vote. Why go to another place in the first place?
Okay, thank you very much, Chifi. Thank you very much, Prime Minister Lashitu. May God continue to bless you. And I will say that is why we need elders. I will continue saying it. We have to give kudos to them because they make the world more meaningful. So, sir, the issue of OPC error is what we are trying to say now here. That for somebody who is at a wrong polling booth and after the verification, the PVC, the candidate is telling him that OPC error, meaning other polling card. Sir, you know every intending voter knows where he did his registration. So you're supposed to know that you need to do your vote. You have to vote, cast your vote where you register. So the issue of taking your card to a wrong polling unit supposed not to even come at all if there is sanity. Are you getting me? So the issue of OPC error will not even come, should not even come in if the intending voters knows where to go to. Now the issue of voters education. Thank you very much that you have also identified, sir, that the media houses, they have a lot of jobs to do. Also, these political parties, we should not put all the sole responsibility of civic education on our media houses. Each political party are having territory for what's it called, for voters education. This is the job of either PDP, APC, YUD, AMPP. This is their job. They're supposed to have by now educate their members, educate the electorate, irrespective of which side you are falling, either PDP or APC or what have you. But what do you see? They are not doing that. They are all busy dancing around. They are all busy making campaigns that are not issue based. Until we have a very ideological political party, a party system that is ready to take the nation forward, to accept the responsibility of human resources management, because the most difficult resources to manage is life is human resources. It is until we have such a party that is when we can have a 95% level of civic education that you are yearning for, sir. That is why, because of your commitment, sir, I know every Sunday you will see Baba calling Sunday morning live, as well as Baba is. So may God continue to spare your life for us. Now, the issue of invalid vote, this is also part of the problem that can be solved through voters education by the political parties and also by INEC themselves. In the olden days, we had each state that were having state information services. Federal government they were having what's it called? National Orientation Agency and co. Sir, election is some days, it's coming up some days. Where is NOA? Where is Ogun State Information Services?
17 days away. To
the election. That is telling us that society we need social re-engineering. And to Babadere, when you are talking of INEC preparedness, I'm not in better position, sir, to talk about that because I'm not a staff of INEC. But I only employ INEC to have what we call Tiger Team. The Tiger Team is a team of engineers that are on standby to address to every problem on real-time basis. If the Tiger Team, I repeat, if the Tiger Team cannot physically be present at the police station via phones, they can educate the polling officer there to do the needful. And I believe there is no way you are going to do a project like this, you are going to implement a project like PVC, what's it called? Usage of PVC vis-a-vis card reader machine without having backups. There should be backups with INEC. INEC should have enough backups. INEC should have a Tiger Team that will respond to complaints and challenges as soon as possible. So all these are the preparedness and preparation that should be on the part of INEC. That is why it will be better for INEC resources to come on here and tell us how prepared they are. I think your question will have been answered. Thank you.
Let's take this.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Honorable Richard is my name.
Okay.
Good morning, Gafar.
Good morning, sir.
You have been doing a wonderful job there.
Thank you very much.
That I give that to you. I just want us to be very careful. You know, this election is very, very important to everybody. It will even determine how ready
the people are for them to continue with the civilian rule that we so much believe in. But I still want us to look physically at the idea of not allowing the card dealer's machine or the whole process to go wrong somewhere because it's very disastrous. We don't want the situation where people will now start, I think that this guy got the card dealing machine, no backup, no this, no that. On that day. So it needs to be very, very careful. They need to do their homework very well. They need to do their homework properly so that there won't be any excuse. I'm afraid. So if there is no work like that, it's not something that's going to work and it's not going to help us. They should not just go there. I like the use of the guidance machine because I always believe in a free and fair election. But I want you to understand they need to be very, very careful. We need something very good to be done in that area. They should give us credible election. The umpire must not be biased. They should be ready to work assiduously and do the needful. Concerning the political parties, they need to go and educate their supporters so that they see the election will favor them. And not anybody must be ready to make sure that they cast their vote to the candidates of their choice. God bless Nigeria. God bless you. Good morning.
Thank you for sharing with us. People need to understand. You need to pick up your card so that you can actually exercise your franchise. Who's on this line?
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ife. Good morning, Toby. My name is White. I'm calling from Abeokuta. Gafar. Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I want to participate. You are setting up. And what a brilliant submission this morning. I want to give it to you. Thank you very much. I want to believe whoever in doubt that INEC is not ready or INEC has something hidden on this issue of card reader, well informed. I want to consider this person as someone who is not well informed about how this card reader machine is working. And I want to thank you for enlightening us about how that card reader machine works, and I want to give it to you. I want to believe that INEC has come to realize that they should not be intimidated and should not that in their pursuit to have very free, fair, and credible election in this country. And I want to appreciate them. If they can insist on this issue of card reader, because like you said, anomaly, a lot of is what this card reader machine will be there for us to eliminate. I don't know why. I still try to get what is the main reason why PDP is saying we should not use this card reader. All these excuses that have been given, all these reasons that have been, I don't want to see that as an excuse. I think I want to believe they still have some excuses or excuse for them opposing this issue of card reader. Sit down and see why they should agree with INEC in using this card reader. I want to say categorically, like what is it called? The kind of Olumide said, what if INEC agrees? I mean, let me say, agrees to use the card reader machine, and it works very well. Election turn out to be free, fair, and credible. The glory to the presidency, the glory will go to PDP-led administration. What we had at least to commission the election 2023. People thank Mr. President at least had free and fair election to commission. I want to beg them that it's patriotic enough. So let us move forward in using card reader machine, because I want to believe it is a next step. It is a next level in our next practice, and I believe if we can use it, it will do us well in this country.
All right, thank you very much.
I'll quickly run through a few messages that actually came in. Abdul Rashid, who came down from Chapon, said there is no going back. We must use it to check rigging and make our votes count. Thank you so much for sending that in. This message from Tejusho Esther from Unikologo says, Toby and Ife, we should support this card reader. There is always the first time because this card is easy to print out by people who print ID cards. So INEC should screen their cards. Nigeria must grow. Thank you so much, Esther, for sending that message in. A very short one from Bello in Abeokuta. He says it is election riggers who are afraid of the card readers. So as we round off this morning, it would be nice for us to have your thoughts as we close.
Okay, thank you very much. My thought will start from the last message read, second to the last. Candidates PVC cannot easily be cloned like that because at the back you will see a barcode. Each of those barcodes are representing some information. So the fear of cloning, I'm not saying it's not possible, but at least it can be duplicated, but it will be very difficult to actually get the codes for other posters. Then conclusively, I want to tell Nigerians that we should be optimistic about this usage of the card reader, and we should put patriotism ahead of everything we are doing so that we can have free, fair, and credible election. Thank you very much.
That's our punchline this morning. We must aim at very free, fair, and credible election. Whether you like it or not, the world is watching. Nigeria is actually in the eye of the world, and people are watching to see exactly how this will pan out. This is our show this morning. We're back again tomorrow. Be sure to keep a date with us from 7 all the way to 11. Let the discussion continue wherever that you're at. This is just one country that you and I can call ours, no matter how many passports that you carry. I am Ife Onyebule.
And of course, no matter the cumbersomeness of the process of collecting your PVC, if you still don't have it, go get it. I want to rest until I have my PVC. If you cannot continue to shine
Intimidate
that
you.
PVC, my friend, you can't intimidate me. I am Toby. Joseph, thank you very much, Jenna Gafar. We appreciate you this morning. Have a wonderful day.